Tom frustratingly out the UCL Cup at the first hurdle. What are your thoughts on that out there today?
Yeah, disappointed obviously not to win, but it was a really, really good game for us. It's exactly what we needed really after where we are in our season. It allowed us to get minutes in people that needed it. So we rotated, and despite going behind twice, I thought we gave it a good go, and obviously got back to draw really in the 90 minutes. And the only way to not be in the next round was to miss a penalty. So not a million miles away at all, and really pleased for those lads that took opportunities today and give us a little bit of food for thought for Saturday.
I thought it was a bit of a sloppy start, which might have frustrated.
Yeah, it's all. To be honest, it's always going to be sloppy when you make big changes, really, in terms of to the 11. That is always going to be a little bit of a drawback. But in my opinion, it was important today to give lads that had earned opportunities a chance. I thought Harrison, Lewis did themselves justice. I thought Mitch again shows what he's got about him. Billy in a slightly different role. I know we've looked at him a little bit in the 10, but he was effective in spells as well. Wormsley back into the 11. I thought we got what we wanted out of the game, other than probably the victory. I think minutes was the main thing today, other than the victory. And those lads that needed it definitely got it. So pleased for that.
So 2-2 was probably a fair reflection of the night.
Yeah, they're not a bad side. I think they've got they're lively up top. They caused problems, which was a good test for some of them younger lads at the back. So. Yeah, no, the 5. The 5 for them struggled a little bit, but he's not got long left, bless him. So hopefully he keeps ticking. And you, mate. But yeah, they're a good bunch, nice lads. I know Hawley back from St Neots days, and they're a good group. So I'm pleased that a good side's gone through to some extent, and we've done ourselves justice. So yeah, we move on to the league, which will always be my bread and butter. That's where we want to be successful, and hopefully those boys that have had minutes today will be stronger for it in our run-ins in the league coming up.
You mentioned Eynesbury's quality up top. They had some significant pace and quality, which kept you on your toes all afternoon.
Yeah, they're a threat. They've got good players. They're doing well in their league. I think they've been unlucky. I know they was unlucky against March midweek. I think they were very dominant in that game, but got popped really towards the end. So against probably a more experienced side. So yeah, they're a good group. I think they've done well today, as have we. And 2-2 draw, and it comes down to the penalty spot, which is always a bit of a lottery, obviously.
I suppose if you have one significant frustration, it's that you conceded so early in that second half rather than keeping things tight.
Yeah, well, to be honest, you take myself out of the back four. That doesn't mean that I'm the be all and end all, but it left a very young back four, and that maybe gave us them a little bit of insight, and maybe that added to a little bit of pressure. I said to them at half time, I felt that we've moved the ball too slowly for what we wanted to do. I mean, I'm not naturally a ball playing centre half, but we try and move the ball quickly when we're in those areas. And I think if you're in and around it, so even if it's me just communicating from the side of the other fullback, it's touch, play, move it fullback, whatever it may be, and we quicken up our patterns and we get out quicker. And I felt first half was a little bit sluggish with that. Only half a yard, but I think that's probably down to rustiness and lack of minutes for some of them, to be totally honest with you. But then in midfield, again, it was probably a little bit of the other way, where we went bang, 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 moved some stuff really well in spells, particularly in that first half with 1-2 touch where we cut through them. But also at times we needed to know when to put our foot on the ball and just create those waves of attack that we've been kind of famous for over the last two seasons or so, where we have a little bit more patient in that half. But to be honest, with Parker's pace being the main threat, I think today for where we looked like we was going to score, moving the ball quickly obviously suited us, and it wasn't necessarily particularly direct, but it still went through at pace through the third. So yeah, pleased that it shows that they understand the principles of what we're trying to do. And I think if you played them again in a week's time with the same bodies, even with when we have rotated, I think they'll be better off for a few more minutes in the tank.
We were impressed up here with the link-up play between Billy Gillies and Josh Parker. They seem to be creating quite a relationship up top there.
Yeah, cheers, Mitch. They're very intelligent lads. There's no doubt about that. To be honest, I think it's getting the best out of both of them, having that combination. And I thought Wormsley, with his physicality, I thought, to be fair to him, didn't really lose many headers at all. Little touches helped us get out when we're under pressure, but also gave Josh and Billy stuff to feed off, which when you've got talented lads like them in and around the ball and in and around their third of the offensive third, you're going to cause problems, and they did. So I'm delighted they've done well, and hopefully that relationship continues well and we get lots of joy from it.
And you have touched upon it that ultimately it shows how much squad depth you've got, really. I mean, when you think about it, you've not even got people like Joey Smith in that.
Yeah, so obviously Tyrell, we're due back soon. He's one that we expect probably a training on Wednesday. So it'll be a great one to have back through the door. Smithy, we gave the game off, obviously rested myself. Finn, Keegan, we wanted to probably start, but we felt like it was important some of them lads that had earned their minutes and were due some minutes, we gave them that first. But it's nice for him to get some minutes at the end as well, just to kind of feel into what we were doing at Sleaford. And yeah, we've Ollie Fields still not involved because his ankle or whatnot. So yeah, there's Jack's not far away. I know we haven't seen much of him yet from his injury, so we've got a lot of depth, which is why it's important for games like today for lads to be given opportunities, because coming off the bench at times and doing really well, they earn those chances. And I'm disappointed that they haven't gone and got a result in the next round, but yeah, pleased for those lads to get some minutes in the belt.
We had Chris come over here just before penalties, and he said that everybody was desperate to take a penalty, which must be a really pleasing sign to you as a manager.
Yeah, I think I ended up at 9th. I said, lads, I scored mine last week. But, yeah, they're a really good group. They don't hide. They're positive, and that's the environment we try and create, where there's some positivity. And if people make mistakes, as long as you learn from it and you have that support around you to continue to grow. So hopefully it's a safe environment where people, if they do miss chances, it doesn't bite them back in the back behind for long. Obviously, Flitz makes good saves all the way through the season. He's not in the team to take penalties. He's scored 3 out of his last 3, I think, in cups for us. Done really well. Sent the keeper the wrong way and just probably too nonchalant, and the keeper managed to get across to it. And then Finn, inches away from being the perfect penalty, but slightly too high, and that's the difference between the two sides on the day. So yeah, credit for them boys to standing up, because it isn't always easy, especially when there's well, you see how much they celebrated at the end, which was surprising really. For the first round of the cup, I felt like that was the final of the cup, but they obviously felt like they'd earned it, and credit to them. So it was a good game, and I say we kind of got what we needed out of it.
Finally, a bit of a novelty. You've got a free big week, so I presume it's knuckled down to some training and then on to Kimberley on Saturday. Yeah,
all positivity in the change rooms. We kind of just said straight away that of what we got out of the game is pretty much what we wanted, other than obviously the next round of the cup. But to draw away from home, it's a difficult place to come. It's not a bad result at the end of the day, really. It's just disappointing that the penalties is what beat you. But they're all buzzing now for let's take that into training. Let's progress and get some of them senior figures that have been rested a tad back in the mix a little bit. And we'll have a little bit of headache for Kimberley away. But I tell you what, there's 16, 17, 18, 19 lads now that are all chomping at the bit for Saturday. And yeah, we're in a good space.